talk with me today?
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Tell me what you got to say.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
You're so informative and fun.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Yeah, you're the one.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
You're the voice of reason.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Indescribable yet pleasing.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
What's the scoop today in your battle for truth, justice, and the American way? Home health and politics, conspiracy theories or karate kicks, intelligent discussions on the issues of the day, but tell them not to call unless they got something to say.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
What's the word for now?
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Can you tell me how?
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Will our team win? I guess it depends on what shape they're in. Home health or politics, conspiracy theories or cement bricks, intelligent discussions on the issues of the day. Tell them not to call unless they got something to say.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Man, you're really cool.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
You ain't nobody's fool.
Hello, Uncle
You live by the golden rule. When there's a fiery discussion, you supply the fuel.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Man, you're really hip.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
You don't take no lip.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Man, you got it under control. If there's one thing you got, it's a lot of soul. On the thing we like about you, Uncle Henry, if you have a caller who's particularly pugnacious, quarrelsome, contentious, belligerent, truculent, or scathingly harsh, you simply disconnect the lines of communication. Oh, yeah. In other words, you hang up on the fool. Yeah. You're the Duke of Decorum, the Prince of Propriety, the Emperor of Excellence, the Sultan of Sensibility, and the Maharaja of Magnificence. Ba-do-do-do-do-do.
Uncle Henry.
Oh, yeah.
Taking pride in Mobile, taking pride in Mobile. Come on, let your spirit show. Taking pride in Mobile. We're growing, shining, winning, so we're taking pride in Mobile. We're old, we're young, we're fast and slow, and we love watching our future grow. Let's tell the world so they will know, and we're taking pride in Mobile. And wherever I may go, I'll tell them I'm from Mobile. We're old, we're young, fast and slow, and we love watching our future grow. Let's tell the world so they will know, and we're taking pride in Mobile. And wherever I may go, I'll tell them I'm from Mobile. Taking pride in Mobile, taking pride in Mobile.
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
And we have an accident Highway 90 east at Avalon Boulevard in Milton. We have some congestion on Highway 59 from I-10 to Gulf Shores, 49-minute drive. Watch for a crash with road blockage. High School Boulevard at Highway 87 in Navarre. On Highway 98 from Daphne to I-10, an 8-minute drive. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baquet.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
What if I can guarantee the price of Bitcoin will be $1 million in 2030? Well, I can't, but I can guarantee you'll save a lot of money on blinds at my company, Blindster.com. Free samples, free shipping, and guaranteed to fit. Shop at Blindster.com today.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Dollar. That's dollar. Enter it now at newsradio710.com. The Uncle Henry Show. Weekday afternoons from 5 till 7.
This message is for you little trick-or-treaters. You little Halloween lovers, don't ring my doorbell. Don't knock at my door. Do you little Halloween trick-or-treat lovers hear that? You hear that?
Message deleted.
Wonderful town, wonderful people, places to go, things to see. My love is Mobile, that's my wonderful town. Beautiful homes, schools and churches, entertainment, places to shop. My heart's in Mobile, that's my wonderful town. Mobile, the center of transportation, business and industry set the pace. Mobile's got the Junior Miss celebration, home of Mardi Gras and Senior Bowl game.
Mobile is great to live in and work in.
The climate's ideal for progress you see. My love is Mobile, that's my wonderful town.
Roll Tide roll, Uncle Henry.
It says the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. And I really appreciate you. I really do. Today more than ever, I appreciate you listening to the Uncle Henry Show, especially on Halloween. Because I know there's a strong pull right now. The demonic, the satanic, all of that trying to draw you away. And if you've decided to listen to this, that means you don't couple up with that other garbage. So I'm so appreciative of you joining me instead of getting involved in all that satanic debauchery with your Halloween. Instead, you would spend your time with me this hour and possibly the next here on the Uncle Henry Show. I appreciate it very, very much. Telephone number here is 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Email address unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. As I start the program, I'm a little tired out for a variety of reasons. Yeah, a little unusually tired. I stayed up late last night doing my annual tradition of getting ready for the trick-or-treaters by sitting down and writing Bible verses on index cards, which I'm going to be handing out to the trick-or-treaters. You write a Bible verse on the index card, as I've done for many years, and then I used to tape a penny to the index card to make it more easily drop down into the treat bag. But the U.S. Mint has stopped making pennies, and I've transitioned now to nickels. So this is another, I guess you could call this more Biden-inflation getting us, even though Biden isn't in there spending the money anymore. So I'm now taping nickels to the index cards to make the Bible verse drop more quickly into the treat bag for the children. I do believe this is beneficial. By the way, I decided this year I wanted everything to be Proverbs 25. Yes, I picked Bible verses from Proverbs because the little children can go home and they can ask Mommy and Daddy to help them understand the Bible verse and apply it in their own lives. For example, all of the kids are eating candy and stuff. Proverbs 25:16. Proverbs 25:16, King James Version. Hast thou found honey Eat so much as is sufficient for thee, lest thou be filled therewith and vomit it. This is good advice. You learn as a child. You should learn the Proverbs. You know, people spend a lot of money on Ozempic and Wegovy and all this and go. You just read Proverbs, and the Proverbs will tell you don't eat all that. Don't eat all that, honey. There, problem solved. So anyway, I stayed up late doing that, and some other things. I'll tell you more, but I've got a living caller already here on this Halloween I want to talk to. Let's find out who's calling the Uncle Henry Show. 251-479-2723 to call. Hello, caller.
Good evening, Uncle Henry.
Bert, you are live on the radio.
Sometime between 5 and 10 years ago, on Halloween, you asked your listeners to tell some true ghost stories, or at least ghost stories they believe to be true. And at that time, I told you the story of a ghost I had seen in a nightclub owned by my uncle. My aunt was with me at the time. We were the only two people in the club because it was closed and it was open only for us relatives of the club owner. And I saw something that looked like just the air had turned dark blue from about shoulder height next to me. I turned to my aunt and asked her, "Do you see something here?" And she said, "Yes, I do. There's this blue thing right next to you." So I had a witness to my ghost story.
And that was could you describe it one more time? I want to paint a mental picture in my mind.
Yes. It was a shapeless mass that was dark blue, and it was about shoulder height.
Okay.
And that's all I saw.
Okay.
I didn't
All
see
right.
details like any person or anything like that.
Okay.
But my aunt saw the exact same thing that I saw in the same place that I saw it at the same time. That was the story that I told somewhere between 5 and 10 years ago. Now I want to tell you a couple of new stories.
Oh, new stories.
Yes. This was many years later. I'm going to say around 2002. My girlfriend and I were doing the usual Dolphin Street bar crawl. I don't remember which bar we were in, but there was a young man sitting on a bar stool talking to nobody in particular. And he said, "Man, everybody thinks I'm crazy." And I asked him, I said, "Give me the details. What's up? What's going on in your life?" He said, "I work at Winsel's Oyster House." And one night, very recently, old man Winsel came up to me and said, "You're the only one that's doing a good job in this place, in my opinion." And the problem with that story is that old man Winsel, the founder of the restaurant, had been dead for several years.
Oh, wow.
When this incident happened. And he described the guy perfectly. Number two, now this is hearsay.
Wait, now, Bert, can you? I want to hear this story, but I'm up on the break. Can you hang on?
Absolutely.
All right, please. I want to hear it now. We went from a shapeless blue mass to somebody that looked like the late, great Mr. Winsel. Now we're going to wait for the third story as the Uncle Henry Show proceeds forward after the break.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
You're traveling in Crestview. Watch for a crash on Highway 90 near Mare Creek Drive. Also an accident eastbound Highway 90 at Avalon Boulevard, and an accident Highway 87 and High School Boulevard in Navarre. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Bakke.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
YouTube viewers, I can't believe people are watching, especially on a Friday, when there's all that ridiculous garbage going on about Halloween. Thank you for watching. I am really honored that you would be watching on YouTube. Even if you're watching only to make fun of me or be derisive, I don't care. I still get credit. So thank you for watching. Say hello to Nelson Dorgan. Oh, Nelson, first day at Community. Congratulations. Nelson's first day at Community Coffee. Here we go. Provided to me by my employer. Hello to Art, who made you're making an observation that I was thinking in my mind. about the ghost stories from bars. There are kind of cuts to the credibility factor. Hello to Chuck. Thank you to Chuck for bringing maturity and insight to the program. Bama Big Man, Richard Harvey, 68-year-old Chris of West Loxley, Rick Henry. USA Nutrition. Thank you for looking in. They're going to be out at the Greater Gulf State Fair or something like that. Pat Nelly. Timmy Watkins, Excalibur Iron Force. Thank you all for looking in on the program. Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood Nelson's post. It was your last day at community. Well, my condolences if you were enjoying it. Glad that you found another job. I need to read more carefully the comments that are typed in by the YouTubers. All right, let's see. Back on the radio in less than 2 minutes with more Uncle Henry Show. Let me look quickly into the weird news file. Very glad that Bert called to take up some time. All right, there's a Japanese drink company that has launched a special water, and they claim that their water helps you reduce belly fat. The product is called Special Water, and it looks like regular mineral water, but it's classified as a functional food in Japan, which means it can legally advertise health benefits. It contains a compound called HMPA that comes from fermented rice bran, and it's supposed to help reduce abdominal fat. That's in the weird news. I don't know if it's because, once again, somebody's figured out how to make you pay for water, even though you're already paying for it if you are hooked up to city water. Back on the radio.
On our next episode, we'll share the story of how the greatest ditch in the world came to be. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
Roll Tide. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show. It is 5:20. News headlines coming up in 10 minutes. Telephone number is 251-479-2723. We're here together on this ridiculous Halloween. Now, Bert was on the line. If you just tuned in due to your lack of initiative or lack of interest, Bert called in the first segment and was telling some ghost stories. And now we've got a third one. Bert, you've got a third story for us.
Yes, sir, I do.
All right.
Now, I want to set the scene up for your listeners. I lived in an apartment complex, a large apartment complex with a lot of people on the low end of the economic scale.
Right.
And there were a lot of stray cats in the area, and I must admit, I fed them. The management didn't like that, but I did. And I wasn't the only one. And there was this one, what they call a ginger cat, an orange tabby.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
And I and all the neighbors called him Morris after the cat in the commercials. So I had just come home from a gig at the old VFW post on Dolphin Island Parkway. And I had put out some food for Morris. And I lived right next to the laundry room of that little section of the apartment complex. There was a little front porch in front of my apartment and in front of the laundry room. And I saw another ginger cat and on the front porch of the laundry room. And this was like 1 or 2 in the morning. And the laundry room was closed. And you know how cats will bunch up, scrunch down, and then pounce, right? Have you seen them do that?
Yes.
All right. He looked just like Morris. I saw nothing out of the ordinary. But all of a sudden, this orange cat jumped into the laundry room through a locked door. So help me, Uncle Henry, I saw this with my own eyes.
You saw a cat that was able to go through a wall like a ghost?
Yes. And I was willing to convince myself that I hadn't seen this. How could this possibly happen?
Well, exactly.
I didn't see that, except for one little thing. Morris saw it too. I had put out a little bit of food for him, but he wasn't touching it. His eyes the whole time were on that front porch where he had just seen what was very obviously a ghost cat jump into the laundry room through a locked door. That's how I know that what I saw was the real deal. The same as when I saw the dark blue entity at my uncle's club many, many years before that. I had a witness. And that earliest story, I had my aunt as a witness. In this story, I had the cat that I used to feed as a witness. And that's my story for today, Uncle Henry.
I'm practically speechless. About this. Bert, thank you.
I've got enough stories like that to write a book, Uncle Henry. So help me, I do.
Well, please, in the future, share these stories with the listener. I know the listeners of the Uncle Henry Show have appreciated this as much as I have. Bert, thank you so much.
Well, thank you for taking my call, Uncle Henry.
There he goes, Bert. And Bert, call back next week. We want to talk about your gig. You have a gig a week from today, I believe, at Blues Tavern. I would love to be able to see Bert play. How about that? And Bert saw a ghost cat, and he had a witness with him, an actual cat. Unfortunately, cats still not allowed to testify in court. But someday, you never know. 251-479-2723, the telephone number here on the Uncle Henry Show. Hello, caller.
Hey, Uncle Henry.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you something. You think it's going to be possible for the Republicans to reach out and find 5 Democrat leaders that maybe will have the same need, that they can pick one item out of that $1.5 trillion deal so that maybe they can get that continuing resolution signed off? Because it seems like me, if they could find 5 senators, I believe it was senators, that they can pick one item off of that list, and then promise them they're going to put that on there, add that to the continuing resolution to get them to vote. To me, that seems like the only way they're going to resolve this matter, because Chuck Schumer's never going to sign off. I feel like they've got to get 5 people where they can at least find, maybe let's just say they all agree that for like a year they'll extend the Obama credits or, the Obama insurance or whatever, and do that for like 1 year, get 5 Democrats that'll sign off if we agree to do that. Do you see that being really the only option to get that bill?
Well, it is not. It is definitely not the only option. President Trump floated the option of using the nuclear option and getting rid of the filibuster and just blowing it through that way. Now that would really upset the apple cart in official Washington, D.C. if they did that. They're trying not to do that because every norm that still exists would be blown out of the water. But they do have that option. I would be willing for them to use that option if they also had other legislation ready to go that they could blow through there at the same time and fix a lot of problems. But that's one option. Nuclear option is an option. Your option, where you bribe senators by putting pork in a bill or something, you could do that. The other option is to keep the government shut down until they cave in.
Well, I mean, obviously, Trump's not going to give in. I mean, obviously, that's the case. So, and I did hear about the nuclear option. The only thing I heard about it is that if we do that, then the Democrats can use it when they're in term.
Right.
So,
yes.
And that's the reason why they're not really doing it, because then they'll play that card once they're in office. So,
well, and I would say to that, they're going to use it. After what we've all been through, these political parties are at each other's throats, and they're going to. Republicans are probably not going to use it. Democrats will use it. I believe they will. That's personal opinion of mine, that they will use it in the future.
Right. Well, they're not either party's not going to budge at this point. It just seems like the only option is to reach out to see if they can find 5 senators, give them at least one item off of that list, so I feel like they gained a little ground.
Right.
Just so they can and it'll probably be the senators that are in probably a Republican state where at least it'll save face with them, with their area, and still get everything passed. Otherwise, we're just going to be in a stalemate forever. I mean, I just don't see any. Because when you listen to Chuck Schumer, he sits there and lies to everybody, And
yeah, I'm sorry. I'm up on the break. I got to run. But I think even the Washington Post was editorializing against the Democrats today, asking them to end it. The longer it goes on, the more it falls on them. I think they'll cave.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
And we've got a crash involving an overturned vehicle, Eliza Jordan Road at Cambridge Place Drive. Also, we still have an accident in Milton, Highway 90 at Avalon Boulevard. And westbound lanes are blocked on West Michigan Avenue at Mobile Highway due to a disabled vehicle. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored.
All right. YouTube viewers, I'm going to listen to the news headlines here, but I was really, that was quite a call from Bert, the spectral cat with a real cat as the witness. I don't think I handled that call as well as I could have. I was just gobsmacked.
250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Hello, I'm Cameron Taylor with Fox 10 News. 2 federal judges ruled President Trump's administration must continue to fund SNAP, the nation's biggest food aid program, using contingency funds during the government shutdown. Now, the rulings came a day before the U.S. Department of Agriculture planned to freeze payments to SNAP because it said it could no longer keep funding it because of the shutdown. The program serves about 1 in 8 Americans and costs around $8 billion per month nationally. The Mobile County Sheriff's Office says Todd Bond has been arrested and sent to Metro Jail. Jail records show Bond from Jackson, Mississippi, is charged with first-degree theft of property. Now on Tuesday, the Sheriff's Office was asking for the public's help identifying a person in a video. The Sheriff's Office said the person was a porch pirate, and the video showed packages being removed from a residential porch. Now we're told deputies spotted a black Ford Escape traveling east at a high speed near Bow Road Extension and Spanish Trail. They say the driver, Bond, was pulled over, and deputies found several packages in his car that matched the description of packages stolen from a porch. Several other packages from Mississippi were also found. The Naval Air Station Pensacola 2025 Blue Angels Homecoming Air Show scheduled November 14th and 15th has been canceled. NAS Pensacola said the air show was canceled because of the ongoing uncertainty about government funding. Officials say people who bought preferred premium seating tickets will be refunded and should see that within a week. I'm Cameron Taylor with Fox 10 News on this iHeart radio station.
This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
Fox News, I'm John Saucier. As this government shutdown continues, Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman sat down alongside his Republican colleague Dave McCormick on Fox Business. Republicans claim they'll negotiate health care subsidies after the government's reopened. Senator Fetterman, do you believe them?
I do believe that they're honorable about this because they also understand that a lot of their own constituents are going to be impacted by this health care situation now, too.
Air traffic controllers and other federal employees are missing paychecks, causing some airports across the country to face staffing issues. Texas Congresswoman Beth Van Dyne on Fox Business also says it's only going to get worse.
You've got these air traffic controllers. They've got mouths to feed. They've got mortgages to pay, and they're now having to worry about taking on second jobs because they're not going to be getting a paycheck for work that they are doing.
There was a temporary ground stop at JFK Airport today because of it. America's listening to Fox News.
All right, YouTube viewers, let me check and see if anybody is watching. Going to be back on the radio here in about 2 minutes with more Uncle Henry Show. Pat Nelly, don't trust Fetterman. Hello to Larry Morting. Thank you all for looking in on the Uncle Henry Show here on YouTube. Let me see what I can find to tell you about. Yeah, he plays a good game, Pat Nelly, but how does he vote? How does he vote? Now, let's see. What can I tell you about while waiting to go back on the radio? A woman is suing SeaWorld Orlando for $50,000 because in March of this year, she was riding a roller coaster at SeaWorld in Orlando, and a duck flew into her face and knocked her out. The lawsuit claims SeaWorld was negligent for not keeping the park safe and not warning riders that they might get hit by a duck in the head. The lawsuit says SeaWorld, their roller coaster goes at high speeds. It sits over or near water where ducks and other waterfowl hang out. And they say the woman suffered permanent injuries and lost her ability to enjoy a normal life because she was hit in the head with a duck. And also SeaWorld in trouble because they never reported the incident to the Florida Department of Agriculture. In Florida, any injuries on amusement park rides have to be reported to the Department of Agriculture. All right, that's interesting. Agriculture, roller coasters, of course. That's perfect.
This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
Halloween, trick or treat. Get the hell away from my door right now. Get away from my door right now. Ain't no dog in Halloween up in here.
Message deleted. Press 4 to the previous message.
Uncle Henry Show continuing here on Halloween. 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. That's unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. Today also, as was pointed out on yesterday's show, today, Halloween, also the birthday of Nick Saban. Yes, indeed. Nick Saban, I believe, turning 74 years old today. Happy birthday to Nick Saban. Let's see. I tried to find a clip of Nick Saban being scary for Halloween. I don't know if he's scary here or not. Let's listen.
Okay, so it was kind of a strong effort from the first half starters, but it was kind of still a fairly slow start on both sides in the first quarter, like for the first half of the first quarter. So how much of an emphasis has the first quarter been in a week of preparation?
I think you really got to be digging deep. It's hard to win. And I see people getting beat. What was the Florida score today against Stanford?
It's like 62-52 right now, and they were down
Yeah. So, do you want me to be critical of my team because we had to punt once in the first quarter and they got a field goal? I'm not going to do it. Like I said, they did a couple things. We made a couple mistakes. They did some things different. We adjusted to it. I think the players did a good job. And, I'm not going to be critical of anything that our players did when we win 59-3. So, not a good question.
That was
incidentally.
If you were a reporter, that would be very scary.
Not a good question, incidentally.
So, yes, indeed. Happy birthday, Nick Saban. Here's another little bit of scary Nick for Halloween.
Don't draw conclusions, because if you do, you're going to be wrong. You can draw them if you want and just be wrong. I guess you all don't have any consequences for being wrong.
All right. Anyway, I could maybe next year if I'm allowed to still be here. I think I will be allowed to still be here. Maybe I need to spend the entire first hour of the Uncle Henry Show just playing Nick Saban clips on his birthday next year. That would be a wonderful way to take attention away from the demonic nature of Halloween. 251-479-2723, the telephone number. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, Uncle Henry at iHeartMedia.com. That's Uncle Henry at iHeartMedia.com. Now, this week I have played in the 6 o'clock hour of the Uncle Henry Show some audio clips of a state trooper, Alabama Law Enforcement Association captain, who was given some Halloween safety tips. The last couple of nights I've shared these in the 6 o'clock hour of the Uncle Henry Show. If you did not hear that, just very briefly, if you haven't gone out yet to do any trick-or-treating, here is a captain with Alabama Law Enforcement explaining how you should approach your Halloween when you take the children out this evening.
Well, one of the things that we really continue to drive home, and these are things that people often don't think about, is the parent-to-child ratio.
All right, you need to figure this out, parent-to-child ratio.
So that's one of the things that's just really important, and that's the reality. You can have a really good plan in place, but if you don't have an appropriate number of personnel, appropriate number of parents, an appropriate number of guardians out there with you to help execute that plan, that's where things start to go sideways.
All right, so you've got to have your plan, and you have to have the proper personnel to execute the plan. And that does depend on a parent-child ratio. Now, longtime caller Buford has heard the news report with the Alabama Law Enforcement Association captain talking about this, and he's got his own plan, I believe.
This is Buford. Here, the Buford family has a Halloween plan of action per the state of Alabama's request. First off, we're going to a friend of ours' house in a neighborhood that we've been trick-or-treating since they were little. Down here on the river, Henry, not many houses are welcoming to trick and or treaters, so we venture out. But Henry, a friend of ours has a big Halloween shindig. The parent-to-child ratio will be close to 1-to-1. That's right, Henry.
Wow.
One adult for every one children.
Wow.
It has been my past experience. That is absolutely the worst ratio. because everyone believes someone else is watching the children, and what happens is none of the children are being watched. But Henry, the only rules we have is the children are not allowed to venture out past the perimeter of our operation area. And they're pretty good about that because, you see, especially the Buford girls, they understand they are food. And if they venture out of their regular little world, the bubble that they live in, then they enter the food chain. Anyway, Henry.
I'm just pausing there to congratulate you. I don't know how you've taught your daughters this without making them quite paranoid. Using the food chain as an example on you need to be safe, but congratulations. If you were able to keep your children safe, congratulations.
I'll give you an update on how this Halloween trick and or treating goes. I will tell you this, my children have had an exceptionally good time trick-or-treating through the years. They got a nice group of kids they're friends with, and now got good families, and they all live in a similar nice neighborhood. They throw a big old shindig every Halloween, Henry, so it should be a good time. But, Henry, I will let you know if our operational plan, if it works out or not. Just you know we are doing with the state of Alabama. The state government is requesting everyone to have a Halloween plan.
Right.
Anyway, Henry, also I told Buford Jr. he needed to wear some reflective safety gear. Henry, he told me that was gay. Flat out refused. And I was kind of proud of him for that, so it wasn't pushed. Anyway, Henry, you have a good day.
All right, Buford, thank you very much for your phone call. And I don't know if that type of language, I don't know if that type of language is appreciated in modern times, Buford, but it sounds like you've got the parent-child ratio. I don't know how it could be better. We heard that was the number one thing that goes wrong with Halloween in Alabama, according to Alabama Law Enforcement Association Captain Burkett.
Well, one of the things that we really continue to drive home, and these are things that people often don't think about, is the parent-to-child ratio.
So you have got it 1-to-1, which is, who would ever expect that to happen? So anyway, congratulations on all of that. And the reflective gear, look, Buford, when you should tell Buford Jr. that when he is actually an adult male, then he can shed the reflective gear if he chooses to do so. But as a minor that is being instructed by the parents, the parental end of the ratio, he should wear the reflective gear for his own safety, despite how it makes him feel. There is more to come. Yes, more Uncle Henry Show as the evening moves forward. There will be more of this after the break.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
And we've got a crash involving an overturned vehicle, Eliza Jordan Road at Cambridge Place Drive. Also, we still have an accident in Milton, Highway 90 at Avalon Boulevard. And westbound lanes are blocked on West Michigan Avenue at Mobile Highway due to a disabled vehicle. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples,
YouTube viewers, thank you for looking in on the program. Let me visit YouTube to see if there's still anybody watching. I still can't think past the spectral cat that was brought up in the second segment of the hour. Which was not a black cat, it was an orange ginger kitty cat. All right, let's see. Hello to North meets South, Mobile, Alabama. Pat and Ellie having grilled sandwiches. I'm a big fan of the heated sandwich. All right, let's see. What can I tell you about? A French man was getting married. His name, well, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. It's that difficult. But the French guy getting married came up with a creative way to pay for his wedding. He sold advertising space on his wedding tuxedo. He sold 26 ad spots. The financial breakdown showed that he sold $10,000 worth of advertising on his tux. He paid $2,500 in taxes on the tux. It cost $5,500 to create the custom suit. That left him with an extra $2,000. I think my company needs to hire him. If you can sell ads on your tux to get married, you can sell just about anything. Let's see. Allegedly, there's a Halloween trend called Trick or Tater that has some people handing out potatoes to trick-or-treaters. And this is being pushed by the potato industry in our country. Now, the company that owns Facebook is being sued by pornography. There's a pornography company that has filed a lawsuit against Facebook claiming that the company owning Facebook downloaded over 2,000 of their pornographic films and that they don't know what they're using them for, but they claim that the company itself, they think that they're claiming that employees there downloaded all of this for their own personal use.
Guaranteed at Blindster.com.
Available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. This is News Radio 710, WNTM, an iHeartRadio station.
Uncle Henry Show, it's 5:50. News headlines coming up in 10 minutes. I've received another voicemail message. The voicemail number you can call at 24 hours a day to leave me a message. 251-216-1976. 251-216-1976. To leave a message for the Uncle Henry Show.
Hey, it's Pat and Ellie. Hope you're having a great afternoon.
Yes.
Hey, listen, are you glad that Bama has a bye week this week?
I'm going to pause there to say yes, especially because I use YouTube TV, and YouTube TV has dropped ABC and ESPN and all Disney products because they're in some kind of a dispute. So the people that use YouTube TV are going to have some issues trying to watch some college football this weekend. So, yes, I'm glad Alabama has a bye week.
Yeah, me too. Anyways, I heard Bert talking about his ghost story and Mr. Wenzel, but I have a real short ghost story. A lot of the chums know that me, Miss Rhonda, and the family spend a lot of time down at Dauphin Island, and we stay.
All right, now I'm pausing there just to let you, the radio listener, know that Pat Nelly mentioned the chums know. There's a group of people that are the chums. It was created back when I was doing the Friday night show with Johnny Gwynn back during the pandemic. The chums of Friday Night with Uncle Henry. Well, all those people have just stuck together and are friends with each other and communicate on Facebook and get together from time to time. So the chums are just a group of Uncle Henry Show fans that formed during the pandemic.
Till the evening, sometimes late. Well, the whole family and I were coming back from Dauphin Island. We were there on Dauphin Island Parkway between, what is that? Laurendine, heck, I can't remember. I think it's Laurendine. Dauphin Island Parkway goes all the way up to the interstate. Well, right there where all them chemical companies in, it's real dark. We was coming back one night. Rhonda was driving, and I was in the passenger seat. And we passed by a man. He was probably 3 feet from the passenger's mirror on Rhonda's Tahoe, and he was all tattered and everything. His clothes were all looked like they were dirty, but you could definitely tell it was a Civil War uniform. But here's the caveat. He was black. And that impression has been in my mind for probably 20 years now. He was standing there just as if I was standing and talking to you. Anyways, here's another one. This is not really a ghost story, but do you know why they used to call John Word Sharky?
No, why?
You don't?
No.
Well, the reason why they called him Sharky is because he was out floundering in Mobile Bay by the battleship, and a shark bit his arm off. All right, have a great evening, a great weekend, and roll tide.
Roll tide, roll. Pat Nelly, thank you very much for telling your ghost story, your Dauphin Island ghost story. From 20 years ago that is stuck in your mind, what you saw there on the road. And I'm going to assume that you had witnesses in the vehicle with you that can testify. Just like Bert, when he told his story, he had the cat. He had his cat Morris as a witness. And you had your family in the vehicle there as a witness. Well, I'm glad to hear that. All right, let's see. What else can I tell you about? We're almost out of time in this hour of Uncle Henry Show. Looking forward to what I hope is a trouble-free Halloween. I've told you the story before that my first Halloween in Midtown, almost 10 years ago, I was taken aback because I got, along with my Bible verses that I hand out to children, I also got a bunch of candy to hand out. And I was surprised that in my first Halloween in Midtown, around 8 o'clock at night, an adult woman with no kids and no costume just came up to the door wanting candy. Thought that the rules in Midtown a little bit different from Halloween rules in other communities. In many communities, it's little children in costumes getting the candy. And when I moved to Midtown, my first Halloween, there were adults, looked like a 40-year-old woman, no costume, no kids, just desirous of candy. So, hoping for no incidents for me or for you or for anybody else during this Halloween. All right, coming up, there's more to get to as the Uncle Henry Show continues here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Now, Monday, the new mayor and the new city council are being sworn in Monday. Mayor Stimson has given an exit interview to Lanice Ligon. I want to hear some of that. We'll listen to a little bit of that after the news break. So all of that and more on the way as the Uncle Henry Show continues here on News Radio 710.
Fox on Tech.
NVIDIA, the company with the greatest market.
YouTube, thank you for watching. Stay safe. Let's meet back Monday at the same time.
Scientific discovery, AI factories, and more. Huang announcing a partnership with Nokia, the second largest communications maker in the world, and a new protocol. NVIDIA's ARC, or Aerial Radio Network Computer, is positioning NVIDIA and the U.S. at the center of 6G. NVIDIA also announcing a new strategic partnership with the Department of Energy.
We're announcing that the Department of Energy